welcome back. So let's continue today with the book review I Have Life by Alison Buerta. We ended off last week where she was still lying on the ground and she did see headlights in the distance, and she thought that if she got to the road, she'd get help, which she did. So let's continue with the review. So when Alison moved towards the headlights, she realized the full extent of her injuries. As she pulled herself up, her head started to fall backwards since she had nearly been decapitated. Meanwhile, she could also feel something slimy protruding from her abdomen, her intestines. She had to use one hand to keep her organs from spilling out and the other hand to literally hold on her head. Both recalls as I struggled towards my slide, faded in and out, and I fell many times, but managed to get up again until I finally reached the road. That is a true hero. She then collapsed along the road's white line. Even in her disorientated state, she knew that this was the best position to attract the attention of the motorists. Fortunately, Bertha didn't have to wait for long. A young veterinarian student named Tian, who was also visiting Port Elizabeth on vacation from Johannesburg, saw Bertha lying in the middle of the road and stopped. God put me on the road that night for a reason, he later said. He used his veterinarian training to tuck Bertha's body that was exposed, including her thyroid, back inside her body, then called the emergency services for help. Alison Bertha was rushed to the hospital where doctors were stunned by her horrific wounds. One doctor, Alexander, later said he had never seen such a severe injury in his 16 years of practicing medicine. Bertha was on the brink of death, but she managed to pull through, and she also remembered everything about her attackers. She was soon able to identify them from the police pictures while she was still in hospital. This led to the speedy arrest of the Ripper rapists, as they were called in the press. The Noordhoek Ripper trial captured the attention of South Africans everywhere. Both Frans du Toit and Tinus Kruger pleaded guilty to 8 charges, which included kidnapping, rape, and attempted murder. They were both found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment in August 1995. But after serving 28 years, both were granted parole in July 2023 and placed under supervision. On her Facebook page, Alison wrote that the day I hoped and prayed would never come. When I was asked, how will you feel if they ever get paroled? My immediate answer was always, I'm hoping I never find out. But even though the worst was behind her, Alison still suffered from both physical and emotional scars from the ordeal. In order to recover, she decided she needed to face what had happened to her. Alison soon began traveling around the world, telling her story in at least 35 countries, one of the first women from South Africa to speak publicly about rape in both her home country and abroad. She helped inspire other survivors to come forward and tell their stories as well. The attack has put me on this path. When I get to travel the world and help inspire other people, said Bertha. In 1995, Bertha won the prestigious Rotanya Paul Harris Award for Courage Beyond the Norm and the Feminine Magazine Woman of Courage Award. She was also honored as Port Elizabeth Citizen of the Year. Since then, Bertha has written 2 books. In 2016, her survival story was brought to life in the movie Alison, and today she is still considered one of the most inspiring motivational speakers in the world. But for Alison, perhaps the greatest gift of all has been the birth of her 2 sons. During her attack, du Toit had tried to destroy her reproductive organs. That was his intention. Botha said after the birth of her first child in 2023, which is what makes this news so positive. Today, her story stands as both as an example of humanity and the strength of the human spirit. Life can sometimes make us feel like the victim, Botha had once said. Problems and hardships and traumas are dished out to all of us, and sometimes they can be divided very unfairly. Remind yourself that you do not have to take the responsibility for what others do. Life is not a collection of what happened to you, but of how you respond to what has happened to you. I read this book. I haven't actually watched the movie. I'm going to go and actually find it. I don't know if I can actually sit through it, but I think I would like to give it a go. I'm reading the book had me in tears, and she really is. She really gave rape victims a positive outlook to coming forward, and it's like she says in her words, it's how you respond. It's not saying I'm a rape victim, it's how you respond to being that rape victim, is what I understand. It's been amazing going over her book again, and it's just a brief outline that I share with you all. But if you haven't read it, it is online. You can search it on Google. And yeah, I'm actually going to do some research into Alison because I knew she was very ill during December and she was rushed into hospital. And I'd actually like to find out how she is doing today in our time and see how she's coping and how she moves forward. So when I get to do that research, I'll share it with you all. But on that note, that's the book review now. I'll be back with another book review and we shall chat again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. Excuse the errors. I've been out of actually all this preparing and doing my videos. So if I hum and haw, please forgive me. It will get better. It all takes time. I think we've all been down this road. But having said that, bye bye and see you soon. Bye.